Cincinnati right now, this location is a good spot because in this spot you got Kentucky, you got Indiana, you got Illinois, and plus you got Ohio, and it's one central location where they can come here. That's why you probably got a bunch of teams from all over.
It's the elite of high-level exposure tournaments. You know, you start from the top. Everything's ran and organized so well. And they do the biggest thing that you're trying to do in AAU, get your girls exposure and experience against some of the best players in the country.
They've done a fantastic job of getting college coaches to come and evaluate our players, and that's on a yearly basis. So I know we're always safe going to a USJN event.
Post-event, we also do a lot of things. From a college coach standpoint, we share all that information, who was in attendance, how many coaches from what schools, so that the parents and players and coaches can see that their time and their money was well spent.
Well, you know, there's all kinds of opportunities here for these young ladies. They get an opportunity to play in front of some of the college coaches that are sitting here and watching. Maybe they'll get a scholarship, and maybe not, but they're learning life skills, which is really, really important.
I think it's really going to help us in the long run because it's going to show us what we need to improve on, what we can do, and it'll just show us different aspects of how we have to play better.
This kind of competition brings out the best in us because we're challenged. And all my kids are Division I players, so they want to play against Division I players. So they come away with understanding the level of competition, and they have to raise their game to the level of the opponent.
I tell the kids to go out there and play as hard as they can play. And these college coaches, as you can look around, are all over the place.
Well, one thing is just trying to help them understand, listen, in this area and with the teams that we have here, all of the teams are good and all of them can really shoot the basketball. So it really makes us have to consciously stay alert and sharp, and just gives a totally different style of play from what we're used to back in the Atlanta area.
Well, I mean, you know, I think it speaks for itself. You got a team from New York, you got a team from California, you got a team from Florida. You know, you got obviously a lot of the teams from the Midwest, you got teams from Texas. I mean, so you got teams from all over the country, which is pretty cool that you get to play against those teams. We played against a team from New York last night that you would never get to play against, obviously, if you're playing up in Wisconsin or Illinois. So it's just pretty cool to play against different teams from different areas.
I think this location is great because it draws from a wide area. If you look at a 6 or 7 mile radius, you can get to a lot of different places in a lot of big cities. You can draw the Chicagos, the St. Louis, and you can get the East Coast teams, even the Canada. So I think that's what sets this one apart, is coming here, playing different teams that you're not used to, and it's convenient for most everybody.
It's huge, and especially coming from Albany, New York. We're a small town, and recruitment is not very, very big in the area. And then when they come down here and see this and see what they've been working for all this time, it's a major impact, and it motivates the kids. It's a big thing for the kids.
Well, for us, it's great because we're from Kansas City, right? So we get a little sprinkling of the East Coast teams that come here, the upper Mid-East teams, whereas usually we're playing teams from Kansas, Iowa, Nebraska, that kind of scene. Here we get to see teams from the East Coast. And quite candidly, when we play back home, it's just we're looking ourselves in the mirror. Out here, we see a different flavor, diversity, different athleticism, so it's good for us.
Well, my favorite part is, one, you're going to get quality teams. I get to interact with a lot of my coaching buddies. They come to a lot of events, and it's just really a good atmosphere and it's well organized.
It's definitely challenging to play teams all across the country, and it makes us a better team by playing and working together and communicating more, because we've never really played these teams before. So
that's my favorite thing of coming. You never know who you're going to see here, and you never know who you're going to play against. And we've played against the best kids in the country, and that experience along with coaching against these big-time, grassroots coaches who coach at all levels is, I look forward to that every year.
USJN, Chris Manning and the guys that run the organization, they treat us well. They're top-notch, they're classy guys, and they make sure we're always taken care of and accommodated with anything that they say they're going to do. So that's enough said for me. If I know that's going to happen, I'm going to be at the event.